Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur. Hey, this is Elizabeth Plouffe and welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails. Today is Wise Word Wednesdays, where it's an opportunity to share usually stuff about business books, but I'm currently reading Jason Little's Lean Management. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't have the right title. Almost done, so that'll be next week. But today does relate to books in a sense that it's about education. And this morning was Ballsy, which is the women in entrepreneurship group that I started and run. And one of the focuses that we had for discussion today was about education. And my friend and I have been having an ongoing lively debate about education and women taking the opportunity to get educated or more educated for their job or their business and when that should happen. So our conversation has focused around she believes, why should anybody take time off from their personal life when it is business related? They should have enough gumption to go and ask their boss for the time off, or as a business owner, you should set it as a priority and not view the time during the day that you take off from your business as a waste of time an interruption. And rather than sacrificing your personal life, set that time aside in your business day to make it happen. I just got to grab my notes because I like to take notes while we're having our meetings. And one of the things we've chatted about off and on is it's basically getting the balls to stand up for yourself. As a woman anyway, I'm not sure how many men really suffer from, a lack of balls situation, but a lot of women really struggle with standing up for themselves. And education is a funny thing because with employers especially, from my perspective, there's two different ways an employer could view you asking for more education. They could view it as a positive thing and add value to your job and to your ability to do your job well. If they also value personal development, then it's another way of keeping employees happy, which is always a 2 thumbs up. If you want to, I think I'd be okay with that. I think if one of my employees came to me and said, I want to take a photography course and it's, Friday mornings from 9 to 11, I don't know, I might be okay with that. We'll see how it affects the bottom line. I'd have to be in that situation. But, if that person was in a marketing role and they wanted to take a communicate better workshop, which is something that I took a couple of weeks ago, I would definitely be down with that. I mean, it's value add to them because they make new connections and learn new things, and then they can apply it to their job. But they also take that education and certification with them, if and when they decide to move on. But the other side is bosses could view requesting time for education during work hours from a fear perspective, and that's where you might run into trouble. If a boss has created a culture where they don't encourage individuality, they don't encourage advancement, they don't encourage you to not only, clean the glass ceiling but bust through it, then they may view your request for education from fear that you're, going after their job or something like that, which is sad but true. And that could be one thing that's holding people back from asking for the time off and doing it during business hours. I mean, I do a lot of my courses online, which requires me to do it at night. But I do take time during the day. And when I was working for other people, I did ask if they let me know that there was an education fund available. I absolutely took advantage of that. Girl Guides of Canada, I did all kinds of trainings. When I was with Haltech, I did my fundamentals of project management, which was fantastic. So I took the initiative, which is what you are required to do. You're going to have to, screw it to the sticking post and go and ask. I guess I would suggest don't be frivolous. Research the course, assess the value. Assess the value to the organization and to yourself if you're doing it in an employee role, and make sure you outline those benefits and how the workload that you won't be completing during the day is going to be handled. Be it an agreement with a colleague who will help you pick up the slack, or you'll make it up in other ways, or what have you. I mean, fair's fair. The work has to get done in some capacity or another. By the same token, if you're an entrepreneur and your schedule is your own, make sure that you really step back and evaluate courses and seminars and workshops And why I'm suggesting that is especially when you're first launching, you're all caught up in the headiness of being an entrepreneur and making new connections, and you might be tempted to take everything out there and attend every conference, especially if they're free. And keep in mind that with some conferences, some workshops, especially if they're all day, free does come with a price, depending on who's providing it. I know when I provide workshops, I make sure it's from a authentic place, in that I'm not there to sell to you. I'm not there to pitch my products or services. I'm there to provide you the workshop, and then if you like how I teach or you like what I've had to say, we'll work together. If not, well, then you got value, and that's awesome. But I have been to events that are supposed to be, under the empowerment banner, and it ends up being a 6-hour commercial. So that is a waste of my time. That is a waste of anybody's time. If you're going somewhere and you're not paying to be there, you are at the mercy of whoever's putting on the event and what they've promised the speakers in order to run this event for little or no cost. And that's not to say that that's everything, but what I'm suggesting is that always look for opportunities for education. You can go on the Canada Conference Board. There's a variety of event boards. You can search through Eventbrite, Meetup, what have you. But make sure that it's of value to your business. Make sure that it's not just a matter of you being busy versus working. And free isn't always good. Free can be awesome, but check it out first. Do your homework. And consequently, I've pulled out of a day-long thing that I was supposed to attend tomorrow. I think it was tomorrow, because I did my homework and discovered it was going to be a 10-hour commercial. And there may be some nuggets in there, but quite frankly, taking 10 hours off from my business to listen to somebody else spout about theirs, not of value to me. So we continued on. So those are the couple of things that we talked about was evaluating educational opportunities, making it a part of your career development, making it a part of your business development, and assigning the appropriate priority to that. If it happens to be a morning event, if you were working shift work, you would make arrangements. And if it's only once a month, make arrangements. Maybe your partner or husband can get the kids off to school. Maybe you can, ask a friend to drop them off early or what have you. I know my husband would have no problem going in an hour late because, the wife needs to go and get educated. But it's up to you to make it that priority. It's up to you to put a stake in the ground and say, you know what? My future is important, and nobody knows everything. And so I need all the education that I can get to get ahead. And we talked about some of the benefits of the trainings. Once you've researched and once you've evaluated and chosen the ones that you want to move forward with, it's going to provide you a lot of confidence in your ability to do your job and to talk about it at industry events or networking or what have you. It's going to give you the opportunity to share that information with your colleagues. And I was huge for that. If I learned something, I always wanted to make sure that everybody knew about it. Hopefully they found it helpful versus annoying, but it's always a benefit. It's an opportunity to learn how to communicate more effectively about the industry that you're in, so that the perception of you is that you're well, I shouldn't say the perception. You're going to prove to people that you're good at your job and you know what you're talking about. And there was one thing that came up for me, and the last Wise Word Wednesdays was about the book Originals with Adam Grant. And I think I brought it up then too, but it was about power and status as far as getting your ideas heard. And if you've not taken the time to educate yourself properly or show that you have any ambition to improve in your position, then when you have ideas to bring forward, you may not have the clout you need to be heard. And if you make a little mess as far as getting this education, if you rock your boat just a little bit, be wise about it. Then when you are, struck with an idea, maybe as a result of your training, maybe as a result of something else, you may end up with more power and status where you get that idea heard. And that can only benefit you and the organization, which is the chief goal of getting this education in the first place. So what have we talked about here? Oh, no, I think we've pretty much covered everything. And it's the major thing is So take into consideration the organization that you work for, the leader that you're working with. Are they operating from a place where they believe that education empowers employees and is positive to the organization? Fantastic. Move forward. Take advantage. If they operate from fear and they're what I nicely refer to as an asshat, then you're going to need to make a stronger case for the education that you're seeking. But don't let that hold you back, And if the only choice is to do it at night or do it online or whatever, they don't even need to know. It can be your benefit, and do it. I've done critical thinking online, project fundamentals online. I did some of my postgraduate work online. It's definitely a benefit. And to you personally, the confidence and everything else that comes with education and your ability to speak wisely about your industry can only do good things as far as busting through that glass ceiling. So if you're a woman and you've had, family and kids and husband kind of holding you back, put that stake in the ground, honey, because nobody's going to do it for you. Make it a priority, and be proud of yourself for doing that. And if you're a guy listening to this, move forward with it. Guys need education too. So I'd love to hear about different topics that you've decided to learn more about and how that's positively impacted your career within an organization or your business if you're an entrepreneur. And as always, just know that you have the guts and glory to make your own story, and getting education, I hope getting educated is part of that. And we will talk to you soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.